Hello, dear students. Today, I would like to start the very first topic on Gandhian Outlook, a very representative essay written by S. Radhakrishnan, our former president, second president of India. He was an Indian philosopher. His name was Sir Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. In the syllabus, we see that S. Radhakrishnan has described the real and actual meeting with Mahatma Gandhi, how he lived with him and observed the society. He was the first vice president of India during 1952 to 1962. He was one of the India's most influential scholars of comparative religion and philosophy. As we know, or as we introduce the essayist Radhakrishnan, he built a bridge between the East and the West by showing how the philosophical systems of each traditions are comprehensible within the terms of the other. Dr. Radhakrishnan was born in a poor Telugu Brahmin family at Tirupati, India, now in Tiruvallur district. In April 1909, he was appointed to the Department of Philosophy at the Madras President. Thereafter, in 1918, he was selected as Professor of Philosophy in the University of Mysore. In 1921, he was appointed as a Professor of Philosophy to occupy the King George V chair of Mental and Moral Science at the University of Kolkata. In the essay, we see that how Gandhian outlook influenced him and he inspired him to write the essay. First of all, we make an analysis based on critical thinking. Mahatma Gandhi, as Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan said in his essay, Gandhian Outlook, was a really religious man. Gandhiji was great admirer of all religions, Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam and others. He realized them in practice the theoretical implications of his religion from its beginning. He understood that Hinduism talk about abhay, ahimsa and fearlessness, love. Buddhism talk about wisdom, love and compassion, prajna, karuna. Christianity talk about truth and freedom, and Muslims speak of one God and one family on the earth. Gandhiji strongly felt that people have knowledge of their religions but not the deed which answers to their knowledge. Students, I tell you one thing, that as we have so in the book of history, that Mahavir Swami and Mahatma Buddha, founder of Jain Dharma and Buddhism respectively, have the same teachings as Mahatma Gandhi did. We see fearlessness, truth, non-violence, freedom. These things we see in the book of Mahatma Gandhi. And Gandhiji had a real one religion that is based on humanity. He had a combination of all the religions, having all the teachings merged into one. The greatest contribution of Gandhiji is to make us understand the very essence of these religions and incarnate the great ideals of truth and love, which are very foundations of even every religion to evolve. Whenever Gandhiji intended to teach people, he takes up some line of conduct, examines and re-examines it thoroughly with all fasting and praying, ransacked his brains until at last he was able to say. This is a line of conduct on which to proceed. Gandhiji never preached anything to anyone without practice. He attained that stage through constant efforts and commitment. He therefore expected the highest standards of conduct from everyone who come into contact with him. Distinctions of race, nationality, and sect have no room in Gandhian ethics. Patriotism is not enough. A truly religious man doesn't restrict his commitment to any country or nation. His loyalty is to whole of humanity. I have talked about humanity, and he acknowledges all great religions as embodying the truth and therefore worthy of deep reverence. He was a revolutionary who was committed to overthrow of all the forms of tyranny and social injustice, but who never bore ill will towards anyone, who had a mighty movement against the British Empire. As we see in history, that Gandhiji was totally against English or British Empire. He was totally against the tyranny, exploitation of British Empire, but he had a great faith in the religion of all religions merged together, but never allowed that movement to be accompanied by hatred, rancor, resentment against Englishmen. He was not an intellectual in the conventional sense of the term. He was not an academic philosopher propounding his philosophy in a precise manner. He said that education should not only help in acquiring knowledge and arousing intellectual curiosity, but should inculcate right ideals through knowledge of the nation's social and cultural heritage. Mahatma Gandhi rejected the caste system based on birth as immoral. We see that he was not in favor of casteism. He hated, rejected. He wanted the organization of the economy based on hereditary occupations on the ground that they help to transmit knowledge and skill to the succeeding generations. His greatest contribution to modern thought lies in his insistence that man is fundamentally a spiritual and moral being and that society is an association of human spirits, an association that is not limited in any way by considerations of nationality, race, creed, or sex. This is a simple doctrine, yet how profoundly revolutionary. He wants men and women who are noble, public spirited, disciplined, who are always bound by the laws of dharma, who are fully conscious of their social obligations, and who think not in terms of self interest and self aggrandizement, but of service to the community and its corporate life. He also wants a society in which every man would be able to live in freedom and achieve creative self expression. Thus, as Radhakrishnan advocated on the Gandhian outlook. In this essay, we also see how Gandhiji had a deep reverence for the religion. He told about some points which have become the key points in this essay. According to S. Radhakrishnan, Mahatma Gandhi was essentially a very religious man, as he sought to adopt the good in every religion. He saw the nexus of the essence and teachings of various religions thus. Gandhiji preached only what he was able to practice, teaching by example. He never approved of racial differences. Love for all, Vasudev Kutumbakam, was the motto where love for humanity was not restricted by narrow demarcations of race, gender, nation, state, class, caste, etc. He led a spirited revolution against the British with the underlying philosophy of Nishkam Karma. It means he had a great belief in Vedas, Gita, Bhagavad Gita. He emphasized on Niskam Karma. He did not hate them, rather he was against their policy of oppression of others. He advocated for the education being holistic, knowledge, right ethics, grounding in culture and heritage and right conduct. He denounced caste and believed that the economy be structured on the passage and practice of the professional knowledge, passing from one generation to the other. He believed in the essential spirituality and morality of human without prejudices. He saw the future where men and women are noble, public spirited, disciplined, always bound by the laws of Dharma, fully conscious of their social obligations, and who think not in terms of self interest and self aggrandizement but of service to the community and its corporate life. His notion of a perfect society was that of an environment where every person was free and could creatively express the self. Mahatma Gandhi wrote, I have been asked by Sir S. Radhakrishnan to answer the following questions. These three questions were: what is your religion? First question. Second, how are you led to it? And third, what is it bearing on social life? He wrote, of course, you have to make the official announcement. How I wish I could send you sometimes written, but I must not even make the attempt. He had a different or another view of the West. He seemed to be typical Western intellectual, while the East regarded him as a sage, who symbolized the ancient wisdom of the Orient. As a conversationalist, he was always thought provoking and scintillating, but he never tried to monopolize the conversation. He was a good listener as a talker. Though words came to him in a torrent, he knew the value of silence, which in his case was more eloquent than the rhetoric of brilliant men. Mahatma Gandhi wrote, as to suggestions about the use of KGM funds, I read your letter to the trustees. I shall bear your suggestion in mind. I wish you could have attended the meeting. Mahatma Gandhi wrote, Mahatma Gandhi also wrote that it is good that Bharat Bhushan Malviya ji and Sir Radhakrishnan have signed the statement. I believe that if what the statement say is put into effect, you and the university will have rendered much service to the cause of music without any discrimination. The fact that it is how it should be in music. True music lifts up people. There is a no place in the communal differences, hostility. You tell me that you also hold the same opinion. I wish your endure success. Mahatma Gandhi wrote, Dr. Radhakrishnan was a very statesman who did not hesitate to call a spade if the occasion demanded it. His spirit of independence found aggressive expression in a famous encounter he had in 1942 with the then governor of Uttar Pradesh, Sir Maurice Hatfield. Mahatma Gandhi wrote, though I have no time